Welcome to Gamersledge Podcast, the weekly podcast about video games with news, reviews, analysis, and opinion. Keeping you up to date on how to wisely spend your money for video games, movies, RPGs, comics, books, and more for over 16 years. Find us online at gamersledge.com. And now, your hosts.
Hello and welcome to the first Gamersledge podcast this evening. I'm your host Mark, and joining us on the left Brady Square is Matt.
Hi everybody. We've never
Matt,
been
it's
here
great
before.
to see you for the first time this Wednesday evening.
It is amazing. It's almost like we've been doing this for forever, but not quite.
Not quite. Let's see if there's a Turo in the house.
Or not house, as it were.
And he takes the top left Brady Square. And for some reason that killed my video.
Yay! Ovo!
Are you freaking kidding me?
Is it because I'm dressed like the Unabomber? I just need sunglasses.
You got us kicked off the internet, or at least Mark's image kicked off the internet.
Yeah, it's just my image. It's just my webcam for whatever reason, and I can't unplug it and replay. You know what? Screw it. I will just be the talking voice, the floating voice with no face. I'm not restarting this for a 19th time today. Welcome to Gamersledge Podcast.
Witness protection.
Yes, welcome to Gamersledge Podcast, where nothing works right, and I love you all.
And the points don't matter.
And the points don't matter. That's right. What have you been up to this fine week? What have you played, Matt? Because that's going to overlap with mine quite a bit.
Yeah, well, on Friday we had a session. We played the Outlast 2 demo, which turned out isn't actually a level or anything from the game. It's kind of a mishmash of things that are ideas that are parts of the game that'll be in the final product. We played Neverwinter, so I got through the tutorial, and then we went into the guild instance, and basically it was a level up per battle, which was pretty crazy. And I'm stuck there in level 70 stuff that will kill me in like 3 hits. So, yay. We'll get out of there eventually. And then Dive Kick, which was oddly enough fun considering there's a lot of things you can do with just 2 command buttons. Surprisingly. I guess it shouldn't surprise me. I used to play games with no buttons, so hey. And then I played some Song of the Deep. I bought that, was it 2 weeks ago when it was on sale, which is Insomniac's underwater kind of Metroidvania-ish style game. So that was fun. It's very beautiful, very well told, very well put together, looks great, sounds great, has a great story. It's definitely a little bit more bizarre than some of the other offerings, or surreal. Maybe surreal is a better word. But definitely much more of what I would think of as a side project for Insomniac. They're the Ratchet & Clank developer, and to me that's all they do, so anything else is a side project. So very much, hey, it's a chair. Very much a very good game, very worth the, it wasn't even very much to start with, but even less. After hearing about it on every single gaming podcast ever, I picked up Virginia, but I haven't started it yet, so I've got to get to that. Then
did
just
you
some
meet?
Mobile stuff. Meet Virginia? Yes, I did.
I would like to. Dang it.
That's because we're all old and we know stuff. Let's see. Then I played some mobile stuff. I did a little bit of Clash Royale.
Does that make it a train of being old?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Some Pokemon Go, a little Clash Royale, some Words with Friends. Kind of gave up on the Marvel Tsum Tsum because like the second level got ridiculously hard, so I just quit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Been watching a lot of TV. A lot of the second round or the current round of shows on Sci-Fi started. Nothing really standing out. It's one of those where it's like I kind of want to give it another couple episodes before I completely cut them. The one that might end up surviving, oddly enough, is Van Helsing, which I always hate that they make the whole name Van Helsing into something it wasn't. I mean, he was just an old dude who knew about the occult. That's all he is in the original story. But yeah, I haven't started the CW shows yet because haven't had family. Cut to you being pissed off, and he's pissed
Curse
off because
you, CW, for your...
CW broke off their relationship with Hulu, so you can no longer watch Hulu. Watch the CW episodes on the next day on Hulu, or at all on Hulu. So, 35. Oh, 8 days after the end of the season. But
8 days after the end of the season.
8 days after the end of the season on Netflix, they'll all be on there. But till then, but yeah, that's kind of a pain for us because the CW we get through our satellite isn't in high def, and we watch like 6 shows on CW, so it's all standard def unless we want to wait for it to launch on Netflix at the end of the season. So, or pay again through some other service where you pay per ep or something, which I'm probably not going to do.
Let's see. I played all the stuff you mentioned, plus The Division.
Overwatch. What? You
Yeah.
fired up The Division?
The Titanic Failure Tuesday. I whipped out The Division because I own it on PC. I will say that the PC version
family show
looks like... All right, because I was one of the people who said I didn't think that The Division looked bad on the PS4, and I still don't. But I will say that on my Monster Beast VR rig, with everything set to ultra max settings, it looks damn good compared to the PS4 version. It's really, really pretty, but it's still The Division. So yeah, we talked about all that stuff there. I also played Rock Band, and we learned a very valuable lesson in that there is a problem with playing Rock Band on here, is that there's just ever so slightly a few hundred milliseconds worth of lag playing it on the display on my PC as I'm streaming. So internally what we've been doing is switching to the PS4, and it turns out that when you do that, there is no audio from us when you do that. So no, we can't do that. So we have to live with the lag. That's going to be it's going to be interesting. I'll have to play around with that setup a little bit more. Is there anything else I played? I know I played some VR stuff. Man, there's something I'm forgetting, but... That doesn't help.
It was number 2 to something.
That doesn't help at all.
I asked you, I said it looked better at the opening than it was when we got into this.
Oh, Taro, what was the game that looked better at the opening that Lexi commented on?
looked better at the opening.
Yeah, that she was like, "Oh, this looked better at the opening when you were doing the intro than when I actually got into the gameplay." I'm like, "No, it still looks amazing." It was Osiris New Dawn.
Oh,
That's what it was.
that one was awesome.
Yeah, that was on My God, It's Full of Stars Monday. It is everything that No Man's Sky promised to be. And so far, it is
Honestly,
delivered.
yeah. Whenever I watched it, it was like, oh, this is No Man's Sky after the update, like how it was supposed to be.
Well, except that, yeah, it's really pretty, and yeah, very, very good so far. So that's something else I played. We started watching Supergirl season 1 because we couldn't get to Flash season 3. And now we can't get to I'm right there with you, man. I watched like 5 shows off that stupid network, and now I can't watch anything. So I'm pretty upset about that. And Luke
What do you
Cage
think of
finished Luke
Supergirl
Cage.
so far? Oh, Luke Cage, yep, finished that too. That's what I couldn't think of.
Yep, Luke Cage finished that. Well worth the price of admission.
You still haven't finished Jessica Jones.
I
You just
have.
really don't like that one, do you?
I have.
Oh,
I
you
have.
have.
Yeah, the only one I've not seen is Daredevil season 2.
Okay.
Because I was waiting for Lexi to finish Jessica Jones before we started Daredevil, and she's taking her sweet time. So hopefully we will finish that. She will finish that soon, and then we can move on. But I'm really liking Supergirl, despite my own pre-existing thoughts about what the show would be. What?
Yeah. Yeah,
And-
you same thing. You went for the same direction.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's fun so far. I like it. I'm looking forward to the Flash crossover that my wife doesn't know about. And then Pizza Man 107 just said, I can't wait for Iron Fist on March of 2017. I cannot wait either. I cannot wait for Defenders after that. And one of the things that's not in the news this week that I did want to comment on is I actually just finished reading a interview with the head of Marvel TV properties, because the question came up at Comic-Con, will there be crossovers between things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the FX series, and the Netflix series? And his answer was, we very much want to make that happen. It's up to the individual studios. Since Disney has a bigger hand in the Netflix stuff than they do the FX series, I think that might actually be possible to see an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Netflix series crossover, which I would be super happy about. What are you guys' opinions on that? Do you think it should be separate? Would you like to see them intertwined?
Intertwined, yes, but where there would be moments where they needed to. It almost felt. I don't want it to feel like it's necessary to have every single superhero or the TV superheroes in one. Like the way they have Avengers set up, like it made Avengers that much better. Or any cameos that they showed up, or maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of expecting, like in the new Avengers one, whatever it might be called, where we think everything's been destroyed, Thanos has dominated everything, and then Matt just doesn't care what I say, and where out of nowhere you just see freaking Doctor Strange come by and is like, hold on, I got this, let me fix this, this is where you went wrong, let me fix it, and that's it. That's the only bit that you see of him or something. I think that would be really cool. So you don't necessarily have to have them all at once. So if there was a way to have them, show up without having them forced in it, then that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
But make it special. Make it special events for that to happen. But yeah, what series on FX?
It's going to be Legion.
It's not Legion, right?
Yeah, Legion.
That's the X-Men one, right?
Right. But it's still
We don't
Marvel
have-
property.
Yeah, but it's a separate one. That's the Sony side. Or not the Sony side. That's the Fox side. So we can't do anything with that.
Yeah, well, no,
So
they
Legion-
can. They can't. Just because it's owned by Fox doesn't mean that they can't collaborate. They have the ability to do so if they choose to.
So they're not mutants, they're miracles?
No. Marvel did that to draw a line in the sand from the Fox properties,
Yeah.
so that they could categorize them as something. But that doesn't mean that there can't be collaboration in the TV universe between mutants and whomever.
So will Legion make references to every
No, probably
Marvel?
not.
No.
Because he said
Okay, all right,
specifically the creators are the ones that have to initiate that crossover type of mentality. So,
Okay, all right.
but it is possible. Pizza Man 107 said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. also has Ghost Rider. Yes, they do. I would love to see Blade show up so we could get like a Agent or a Hearts of Darkness kind of thing going on. That would be pretty kick-ass. Even if it's not Wesley Snipes playing him, I'd be good with it. Let's see. I think he's got a question. Give me 1 second. Is Marvel better than DC in shows? Man, that's tough. So, my personal take on it is that no. I think that the DC shows on the CW are much better than the Marvel shows, but I really love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I really love the Netflix shows, except for I don't know. What is Marvel better than DC, Matt?
To me, they're very different offerings. So they have different things to offer. I like the Netflix series. Daredevil season 1 is still my favorite of the Netflix series. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but again, you've got to be. I don't know. I get that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't necessarily a show for everyone, but yet it is fairly easy to consume. The Netflix series, I think the thing is, I think the Flash is still probably the best comics to TV adaptation ever. Yeah. I think that is true. Does that make it better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I don't really. I love watching both of them, and I like to watch them both as soon as they come out. So
yeah, and see, I would argue
really say that one's better than the other. They're just different.
See, and I would argue that one of the reasons I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so much is that it is kind of a revisionist history, that I don't know what's going to happen. They nod to certain things that I know because I'm a diehard comics fan, but Pizza Man says, and Gotham is good. I will agree to disagree, sir. Oh. No, if you like Gotham, I'm super actually glad that it's got a lot of people into the DC mythos and lore, but from a comics purist perspective, that's like the lowest show on my list because it is so wrong across the board.
Writing or plotting or characterism. Or anyway.
No, I'm glad you like it.
I hate that show. Yes, I'm glad that there are people deriving pleasure from it, but I don't understand it. To me, there is zero redeeming qualities to that show, unless you just strung together all of the Alfred, Bruce, and Selena scenes. That's probably tolerable, and that's about it.
Pizza Man says people say it's better than Smallville. I don't think I can. I
have a special place in my heart for Smallville. I still kind of enjoy Smallville. So
I don't, I think he's
trolling us at this point, but
for me, Smallville has it's like a sine wave. It's like up and then down and up and then down.
Yeah, it's terribly inconsistent season to season. That's true.
Yeah. All right, we've got to move on to the news, or we're never gonna get through it because we have just like 15 minutes left. And we still have reader mail. So there's that. Let's pop into the news. Let's see. All right. So the first piece of news, I'm working my way backwards. Sombra has been leaked. Her identity has been shown. She's a hacker. She's apparently on the bad people team. Looks like she may have lost her family at the hands of Overwatch in fighting and conflict. So that's all we know. But there was a post apparently on an official page that was also discussing the Halloween stuff from Overwatch, which we might as well cover now, which is amazing, by the way. It is the first time, I think, in the game that we see the trappings of the failed MMO, in that you are actually playing a cooperative campaign that is pretty amazing, called Dr. Junkenstein's Revenge. And it's really kind of fun. I hope they make it a permanent part of the game because it is that much fun. It's simple. It's not hard. It's a wave. It's a wave-based thing. But everybody's got to do their part to make it through. And it's difficult. And it's kind of fun. And the intro for it is probably one of the best marketing pieces I've ever seen of anything. So
do you think this would have been like maybe a daily or something?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm like. There's no way they came up with this idea from scratch. This has got to be, at least a mission structure or something that they had on the back burner. And while we're on the subject of Overwatch, since we have 2 more stories, Overwatch now has over 20 million players in under 5 months, which is fairly crazy. But still, that's in May they were touting 7 million players had played the game's retail release in its debut week, and now they're up to 20. In August, it was 15 million, and 20 million players now. That's crazy. So
and all the pro gamers hate it.
And all the pro gamers what?
Hate it.
I hadn't heard that.
Every stream you go into of a conversation is like, I love Overwatch, it's awesome. You've never played a real competitive shooting game in your life, you little noob.
Yeah, no, I think it's perfect. I don't like the fact that I get a lot of noobs paired up with me when I'm trying to determine my rank for competitive, but beyond that, yeah. I could fix that by creating a team, but time, lazy, effort, etc. Anyways, the last Overwatch story is that their Halloween event has launched, and they are awesome skins. Not everybody gets some, but the ones that are in there are flippin' amazing. And they're even doing new trolls now with one of the emotes. So Anya is a character who has a sleep tranquilizer dart, and she gets an emote where she's throwing candy corn. And so now the big thing that everyone is doing is they are putting people to sleep in the middle of a match and then throwing candy corn on their face while they're sleeping. It's hilarious. Just trust me, it's hilarious. I really think that this game is going to have legs for a long time. I'm just saying. So this is a rumor, but the possibility is that the name of the Nintendo NX was leaked today as the Nintendo Duo. What do you guys think about that as a name for the system? Duo.
What 2 things is it doing?
Oh, it would be portable and console. Yeah. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
No, I just said still a better love story than Twilight. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me personally.
Wow. I thought that died a long time ago.
It did. I threw out a reference to Angry Birds at a bunch of tweens yesterday, and they kind of looked at me like, so I make all the old references. But I don't know. I think of Duo, and I'm still thinking, well, Google just launched an app called Duo, and that's what I think. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but you're the only person I know of that has ever talked to me about that app.
Well, that's because you only generally associate with people who own things that start with I's.
Generally, my friends are smart. What can I say?
Generally, your friends like overpaying for things. What can I say?
Metal Gear Solid 5 Definitive Experience is now available on PS4 and Xbox One. Just PSA. Top 20 selling best PSN games for September. The first 4 were all sports games, and that's why they're still get made, and they have a ton of resources behind them because they sell.
That's wild.
Yeah, here's the wild one. Today, estimates came out by a couple independent folks that said that Sony will sell through an estimated 2.6 million PSVR units by the end of the year. Now, I want to highlight the importance of this. If that is true, if Sony sells through 2.6 million PSVR units by the end of the year, they will have an install base that is 20x Oculus Rift and Vive combined. Well, no, that's not. Yeah, no, that's right. Combined. 20x. That's crazy pants. So that it'll be very interesting to see if it remains a cutting edge, like, early adopter thing, or if more mainstream folks get into it.
Wow. If
Cuphead.
that's anywhere near right. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and if you think about it, okay, take the low ball there. $400 a unit times 2.6 million. That's some serious cheddar for Sony. Call it 3 million, just to be on the bold side, and you're still looking at what, 1.2 billion? No, 12 million.
No.
12 million.
12 million. Yeah.
12 million.
Still, that's nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not. Wait, is that right? No, times 400. I can't do math. This is why you shouldn't put me in charge of math. 3 million times 400 would be, I think I'm right, 1.2 billion.
Right. Yeah, 1.2 billion. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot to carry the nothing.
That would suddenly be a serious revenue stream for them. Cuphead has been delayed to 2017. I'm actually all right with that because God bless Cuphead. I want that game to come out swinging. Not to mention the fact that it's amazing and it's all hand animated. Every single frame is hand animated. So they can take all the sweet time they want in the world. Pizza Man says, at least Anya's subjects get free candy corn. Yes, they do. Xbox users can apparently be barked at by my dog.
There's people outside just saying, "Hey, what's up?" And Marvel's like, "Ah."
All right, so Xbox users can get their early access on for Battlefield 1 early. What was supposed to start tomorrow went live today, so you can actually get your early access for Battlefield 1. Playable demo of World of Final Fantasy will arrive a week before the game's launch on both PlayStation 4 and Vita on October 17th. So, FYI.
It's creeping up. I didn't realize this.
Yeah, it's creeping up. And I've got my collector's edition on the way, so I'm pretty happy about that. NIS America is running a huge sale on PlayStation games, so if you've been holding out on purchasing one, now is the time to do it. I'm looking for other important news.
All right, looking at the clock, talk about the VR plan.
Yeah.
Because we got no time.
Yeah, I know. I got to get to reader mail questions. There's only 2, but I got to get to those as well.
Okay. Hurry up.
Yeah, so PSVR. So it's actually being picked up. That's why we're abbreviating the show. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video tonight. I will get it all set up. We'll start playing it tonight, and then we'll start the actual reviews tomorrow. So we're looking to have probably 3 to 4 reviews up by the end of the weekend, if not sooner. It's most likely going to be Res Infinite, Thumper, Riggs, Combat Evolved, and 100-Foot Robot Golf are going to be our first batch of reviews. So watch for those. We will be streaming as we always do on Thursdays and Fridays. So we'll be doing that as well. So we may even have something in there, I don't know, from the PSVR. But then we will be streaming some PSVR gameplay as well, probably over the weekend. So that'll be outside our normal programming blocks, but you can check that out faux show. First question from Reader Mail comes from, and I love his name, Absolute King of Anime asked, how do they expect us to get interested in VR? Because I know most people will just want it for the games on Steam. But what is the aspect Facebook is looking to get out of it? And I assume it's social. What are they planning to do? So this is a great question, but they actually just answered this at Oculus Connect 2016. Facebook has been working on basically a virtual meeting space where you can go and hang out with your friends, and you can watch movies together. You can set anything as your background, any movie as your background. So you could be underwater or whatever, and you can actually play little mini games and stuff. They had showed a prototype of this a while back, and it looked... The word I would like to use is hella dumb. It looked hella dumb. But now it actually is pretty interesting. So yeah, it's looking really good. So, and they have tracking of facial movement somehow now. I don't know how that is achieved yet, but that looks pretty interesting. The other thing to kind of follow up on the question is, how do they expect normal people to get interested in VR? That's what Sony's betting on with the PSVR. Because you're only having to... most people have a console already. They have a huge install base of... What are they up to now, Matt, in terms of number of PlayStation 4s? Isn't it like... I know 20 for sure, 20 million.
I remember.
But I want to say it's actually 40.
26, but...
I actually want to say it's 40, but I'm not positive.
Could be that. I'll fact check. You keep talking.
So even if they sell 10% of their install base and end up with 4 million PSVR users, that's a huge revenue stream for them, and it gets a bunch of people interested in VR. So that's actually a win across the board. One of the other things that I'm going to be doing this weekend and after I get the PSVR is there's a couple questions that I have not seen asked anywhere that really need to be asked. So I'm going to call these the 5 rarest questions about PSVR that you really need to ask. And I'll give you a preview. One of them is, can you play on your TV normally while the PSVR is plugged in? And what I mean by that is we know for sure that you can play normal games in PSVR. It's kind of like in a cinema, and you can watch Blu-rays that way as well. But what this question is that I have not seen an answer to anywhere is whether or not you can actually just play on your TV normally if you've got the PSVR plugged in. So that's one of the questions. The other one is, do you have to have HDCP turned on in order to use PSVR? Because the reason I asked that is there is a Hulu app in PSVR. So they have a virtual living room that you can go sit down and watch Hulu stuff in. There's an actual Hulu PSVR app, and that will require HDCP, but does the rest of it. So that's going to be an interesting question. And I've got a few more that I'm putting together for everybody. So watch for that article as well. Thank you for the question, Absolute King of Anime. The other question I had, which I'm searching for right now.
And it was 40 million worldwide in May of 2016, so...
That is what I thought. That is what I thought. Oh, the question comes in from... Sorry, I'm scrolling through the list. It's not... MLG Gamer asks, is there a beta for Batman VR? No. The game... When is it out? Today. It's $20. So that's not bad. The other question came from Master Cobras. Master Cobras asked, what can't you do in PSVR? And the answer is you can't shoot behind you in PSVR. Keep in mind that the controllers have to be in range of the camera that sits front and center. If you obscure them with your body or a couch or anything else, or you turn around and it can't see them, then it will lose track of them. The headset will track backwards, but you cannot shoot behind you, so to speak. Unless you're doing it awkwardly, holding the thing out at an extreme angle so that the camera can still pick it up. That's it for Reader Mail.
Okay. It's time for you to go.
We got one more. I'm sorry. Pizza Man asked, should people get PS4 Pro or PSVR? Good question. PSVR will work on any PlayStation system. There may be games that are patched to look a little bit better on PS4 Pro. If you're asking me, should you get a PS4 Pro? My answer every single time is going to be, there is no reason to ever buy a PS4 Pro ever. Period. Ever. It does nothing. It helps nothing. There's no content for 4K yet. It's still not native 4K resolution when you buy.
There is a game coming out that's doing native 4K on PS4 Pro. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but there is some native 4K stuff coming out on the Pro.
I will believe it when I see it. At this point is my best answer for that. My personal recommendation is get the PSVR, and if you really want a PS4 Pro, wait until it has been out for more than a month. Look at all the reviews, all the people, what they have to say of whether or not it made their life better and whether or not it did anything for them on their TVs, because I'm going to guess that the answers are no. If you've got a 4K TV that does HDR and you want HDR, you can get HDR on the PS4 now, but if you want PS4K or the PS Pro, I'm really against it. I really think it's a waste of money, personally. That's just my opinion.
But if you don't have, it depends. If you're looking to replace it, probably not necessary. If you're just looking to get one, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If you got the $400, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, if your PlayStation 4 breaks and you need a new PlayStation 4, then it makes no sense to me not to get the PS4 Pro.
Right.
But if you got a perfectly functional PS4 and you think that, and that's it, and you're just like looking to get another one, man, I'd say save some money and get a Slim, or, I just really don't. We're not there yet. They're pushing this on people. Most people don't have a 4K TV. Most people don't have an HDR TV. I don't think it's necessary, personally.
But the answer whether you should buy a PS4 or a PSVR, which would require a PS4, it's whichever you're going to use, right? I mean, but that's hard to say. It's kind of personal preference thing.
Well, I'm guessing because the question is, should people get a PS4 Pro or a PSVR? I'm thinking he's already got a PS4, and that's really the question:
right.
Should I upgrade or should I get the PSVR? The real question I would say to you is, have you done VR yet? And if the answer is no, I will say that VR is not for everybody. However, for the majority of people who use VR, they think it's freaking awesome. So I would recommend that you head to Best Buy or GameStop or somewhere that's doing PSVR demos or demos of Vives or whatever the case is, and check it out for yourself. That will give you a much better framework of understanding of what you might like and what you might not like on the PSVR or the Vive or whatever you're looking at in terms of VR. Because there was one guy that wrote a review. I felt horrible for him, but I understood where he was coming from. He said, VR is not for me. Here are the top 10 games that I played that all made me want to hurl. And so he went down the list, and every single one made him sick. And I get it. It's called VR legs. Some people respond better or worse. Like our friend John, who apparently has no feelings whatsoever, is like, oh, I don't feel anything. I'm just going to fall backwards. It's no problem. Yeah. But then there's me, who I actually get motion sickness. And there are certain times in certain games where I definitely feel it. So, yeah, it just depends. Pizza Man says people should wait for Black Friday. I don't think PSVR will have a Black Friday deal. I would be surprised if it did, especially since it's launching now. But PS4 Pro, maybe. Especially if they're not selling at the clip that Sony wants them.
Yeah, there may be some bundles too. Usually around that time you'll see a TV console bundle kind of thing. So there's some opportunities there.
That's going to bring us to final thoughts. Matt, final thought.
The Power Rangers trail made me sad.
Did you say it makes you sad?
How in the world did it make you sad? It was amazing.
It has none of the soul of the series. It was generic teen angst movie. There was nothing to tie it back to the original series. So yeah, it made me sad. It's not going gritty enough to be that fan short that was made, because that would be awesome if you took it that way and do a Battlestar Galactica.
Super gritty.
That would take kind of a Battlestar Galactica Game of Thrones kind of approach to the remake.
Is that the one where they killed everybody?
That spirit of the original in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I got it. Turo got it.
Okay. I missed it. Sorry. I was talking.
No, please continue.
No, that was it.
Okay. Turo, final thoughts.
It made me sad.
Clash of Clans just got a huge update, and it's awesome. Clash of Clans, not Clash Royale. Clash Royale is always going to be fun, but this has really brought everybody who forgot about the game back. They added a new defense, a new way of training troops. It's pretty intense. It's pretty awesome. So get that, or go back to it if you've already forgotten about it. What else? Yeah, and go watch Shin Godzilla, right?
Yep.
That's what's coming out. Yeah. Go do that. It's going to be fun.
So my final thoughts, I've got two of them. First one is, do go check out the store. The daily or the weekly picks have been updated. That's gamersledge.com, and then click the store button for all of your gaming accessory and jewelry needs for significant others. And if you have any ideas, please send them to us. Let us know what you would like to see on the store, and we'll get it up there, because these are all handmade, custom pieces of jewelry. There's keychains, necklaces, all kinds of different things. So check those out. And then the other thing was thanking our patrons. For those of you that would like to support us, you can most definitely do so. Head to patreon.com/gamersledge, where for just $1 a month, you can get your name on every single show we do, just like the folks who I will name now, because I can't show my video because I love my processing program that is not working once again. So thank you, Ian and Regina, for supporting us at the $5 level every single month, and thank you to all our patrons. That's going to bring us to the end of the show, where we end it as we do every single week with a fantastic piece of wisdom. What do clouds wear under their shorts? Thunderpants. Until next week, game on.
Come on, Turo. Why don't you stop him?
I'm outside, and I'm playing Clash Royale.